We're live, by the way.
Well, folks, this is the...
I'm going to the bathroom.
...on Blog Talk. It's the best show on the internet. Shut up. Nobody,
everybody else, get your ass in here.
Tackles issues like inflammatory talk. Shut up. And Mr. Midnight Movie. Shut up. And Jewish producer. Hello, son. Shut up. We tackle the things that nobody tackles. Hello, son. The man's answers. Hello, son. Stop walking on eggshells. Shut up. Hello, son. Goofy Bone can get off his bloviated fat enchilada ass and start talking about La Raza. Hello, son.
Jacking it. Pimp Daddy Joe P. Jacking it. Pimp Daddy Joe P. Whipping the skipping all day long.
We're making a movie about white guilt. We're going to examine all these facts. Shut up. The civil rights movement today basically protects criminals.
Okay, stop interrupting me.
We're making a movie about white guilt.
Okay, stop interrupting me.
Shut up. We're making a movie about white guilt.
Done in a beautiful fashion. The documentary at the same time, both prose and poetry.
It's not the noble movement that it was.
I'm above you on all these issues. I've been to the military. I have served in the capacity to protect your rights to bloviate. To protect your rights to bloviate.
Who are you to tell me what my style is, you meth addict?
I've been to the military.
How do you know I'm a meth addict?
I'm above you on all these issues.
How do you know I'm a meth addict?
You haven't served in the military. In fact, you wouldn't be fit for the military.
I'm a racist, and I don't consider myself an especially evil person.
What's this got to do with the price of rice in China?
Well, I'm just telling you, I'm a better man than you are.
You're a narcissist. We've established that.
Okay, stop interrupting me. You could not defend the very rights you enjoy. You are the ultimate invalid.
I put stock in you. I'm wondering why Mr. Solutions is not on every daily show.
What's this got to do with the price of rice in China?
Money. I'm into aviation. Money.
Power.
Money.
Power.
Man boob.
I see why Sick the Tank Daddy kicked his ass and kicked him out of the house early on.
Man boob.
Shut up.
I'm going to talk over you as loud as I can. I've got my speaker full blast to blow you away. Mr. Midnight Movie.
My name is Delano. I have killed Mr. Midnight Movie. I stabbed that son of a bitch.
This is
money.
Power.
Money.
Power.
Tired.
Money.
Power.
Money.
All right.
Yes.
Did you go take a dump?
I took a wee wee all the way home.
Good job.
Yes.
How are you living in this post-colonic world? What happened to you since we last spoke?
If you have diarrhea, it's not one of the better things to do. And I'm going to stop because I noticed I've been yelling and getting really...
Something wrong with bringing electricity to your own show.
Yes, but I've noticed that I don't want to... I want to talk like Kurt Green and maybe a little bit less, like, delete this show.
Delete this show.
Delete this show. Get it off.
Oh, boy. Yes, he did. Kurt Green is amazed. He wants to know more about your colonic.
Well, you know what? I mean, I did, I did have diarrhea that day, and so it really, I don't think did much for me. I wasn't constipated. So had I been constipated, I might have done a little bit better.
Constipation it shouldn't be about constipation or not. It's not to unblock. It's a holistic medicine. It's for getting out the ghoulies, getting out all the toxins from your body.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's really that good, by the way.
Why not?
I don't have a bar of soap in it. You know what? I just don't think it's good.
So you think for $100 a session, you're getting ripped off in a way?
Yeah, I just don't. You know what? I'm going to have to read more on it. I just know that constipation is bad for diabetics.
Well, it's bad for anybody. You should definitely check out this herbal medicine I have. It will end all your worries. Yes. It is a constipation buster.
By the way, how do you
cleanse more? By the way,
how does one because I've been trying to overcome procrastination. I think there's a thing called Monday.com that helps with that. I think we should join that, JP, and see how it works.
Huh. All right. Monday.com, a new way to manage your work. Plan, organize, track in one visual, collaborate space. All right.
Yeah, I think we should try that. Because, well, at least with my thing is I'm a major procrastinator, and hopefully Monday.com will be that solution. I'm going to take a look at that right now, the official site. Are you going to go on the site yourself, JP, for Monday.com?
Yeah. So you got a $25 a month fee, which they bill you up front for. So 4, 8, 12. So about about $300 a year. And that's just for the basic. The most popular is $39 a month. Mm-hmm. Billed all at once. I don't know why they do that, but they have. Let's see. I have a problem with their billing plan already, but okay. So unlimited boards, 20 column types, iOS. I would say for what you do, basic is probably the good enough. But
what do you think of something like this? By the way, JP.
Yeah, I've used a couple of these sort of things before, and you know what? The old tested and true is the best way to do it. You got to have a pen and paper, or I don't know. I mean, I have my own. Everybody has their own way of calendar. I use calendars a lot. My calendar has all my info on it, all the shit I need to get done during the week, all the stuff I need to do. You know what? You probably for 300 a year, I bet you could probably find a better solution.
You might be right.
Yeah, I would keep looking. This doesn't look. I've never heard of it, first of all, and I would have to read some of their reviews. But I'm guessing if they want their whole $300 up front rather than billed monthly, I'm guessing they have a lot of complaints.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't like this sort of billing idea at all. Can they pay? Let's see. Can you pay monthly? It's in their facts. Yes, we offer monthly, yearly, and 2-year plans. A lot of our customers prefer to go yearly or 2 yearly because it's the most economical choice. Boy.
Now, by the way, the one thing I don't like about Safari is it makes me have a password just for this computer.
Safari?
Yeah. Use Safari suggested password, and I can't use any other.
I don't know. I use Safari. I don't have to log into Safari.
No,
Safari is is the Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the worst browser. It's really not a good browser to use. You should be using the other browsers. I downloaded.
Yeah, Safari. Yeah.
Firefox is good.
So I'm getting on Monday. Should I collaborate with JP? Okay. My team name. Okay. So my team name. Let's give the team name White Guilt. And I'm going to collaborate two to 5 people. Next.
I think you can get it. Basically, this takes over something that Apple already has called Awesome Note.
Yeah.
Awesome Note costs $2.99 for the app, and it does the exact same thing. So I'm underwhelmed by their billing plan, to be honest. I just don't know what you get. I'm trying to see what they get that's not in Awesome Note.
So why don't we go to Awesome Note? Why don't you go to Awesome Note? We'll both do Awesome Note, and this is for free first.
Well, it's like $2.99 or something. Problem is, I don't have an iPhone, so I don't know if that's.
We need to set up our iPhones, so I need to get you another one. You know what? I'm not ready for this. I'm going to take this off. I'm just not interested. I'm not going to do Monday. I'm not going to do it yet. It's just too much.
I would wait. There's a million of these calendars.
We got to do things that set us up for White Guild, and we just got to go. Like every day, we do a show and like how far we've gotten here.
Yeah. if you use what a good one might be, if you have Google Calendar.
Yeah.
Google Calendar, first of all, is free.
Yes.
And I've worked on with people with, doesn't matter if you have an iPhone or Android or whatever. And I think if you both get set up on Google Calendar, and I have some experience with it too, it's pretty effective. And then we both have a shared calendar. And you have your own personal calendar and a whole bit.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, if that's what you're looking for, to share a camp, I think that's a good thing to do.
Star Wars fans think they've already found a spoiler in J.J. Abrams' episode. Just whatever photo. So Star Wars, I'm getting loud again. So yeah, Star Wars, whatever. Who knows what's going to happen with? I wonder when the preview. I mean, is it coming out this winter or next? Is it coming out the 20th or the? Did you even see the last Star Wars, JP? Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you think of it?
I didn't like it. I even saw the Han Solo movie. I thought that sucked too.
Yeah. I think JP is snorting coke.
Is that The Last Temptation?
Yes.
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 Big pile of cocoa here.
Yes. And yes, folks, we're going to bore you with all of our nonsense here. Oh, by the way, someone did call me a racist on Facebook. And they said, let me see what this person said. You are extremely racist for absolutely no reason.
Yes.
And I asked her, how do you figure? By the way, are you sick? Are you sick like a little bitch?
No. I'm not.
I asked her, by the way.
I ate this spicy noodle dish, though, and then my face is melting.
That's horrific.
Yes.
Yes. So I said, how do you figure? And by the way, is it only white folks that can be racist, or can anybody be stigmatized as racist? You are friends with a Hebrew Israelite, and you're calling me racist. What's that?
I got a phone call. Let me answer that, and then I'll call you.
I will bloviate ad nauseum as I'm here. I might end it early, though, just because I want to take a shower and hit the Betty Boo. But I'm going to look and see what's new on the porn scene here. Who's calling me now? Who is this? Someone is calling me as Mr. Midnight Movie and JP. I don't know who the hell this is, but they're calling me on the same thing, and it looks ridiculous. I think it's... Who is this person that's calling me? They're using a lot of number... Oh my... Damn it. I just got put on hold. Who is this monster? This is a monstrosity. Let me see who this is. Let me see what... Hello?
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
Well, someone's with a long number called. I wonder if it was you-know-who.
They made dirty noises to me. They made obscene gestures.
I hope so. They need to. I'm going to add someone to spice it up a little bit. Maybe they'll take us out of our boredom and teach us about overcoming procrastination, which at least I need help with. I don't know about you. But the psychological help of overcoming diabetic procrastination. And it seems like there are very few people on today. Let me see who's on. Yes. And I'm sorry for the boredom.
Let's go.
Yes. There's beautiful nipple play. There's Snuggle with My Butt Plug. Let's see. Water Belly Pregno Bloat sequel. So this is water torture for pregnant women. And let me take a look here. Let me take a look at...
Are you getting a phone call?
No, I'm not. Are you getting one?
Yeah, I'm getting another one.
Another phone call? From who?
I don't know who it is.
I'm going to look at the mature side of pornography for all of you. Let's see. MILF Hunter. Devil Deep Inside. Fat, large, bare legs. Red pedicure, walk along the side of the river. Oh man, she's walking on broken glass. That looks very nice, by the way. YouTuber. Oh, this is a YouTuber, and she's showing her big knockers. YouTuber image, hand expressions, and experiences. This one, okay, this one doesn't look very promising. Let's look at Mature Mom. MILF, Mature Mom. Okay, this is definitely going to get on the X-rated list. Sorry, folks. Taboo Mother and Son, 40-year-old mom. There's nothing better than mom. Oh my God, Alexis Andrews. I did what with who? All right. Let me get off this damn site before it gives me a virus. All right. Let's take a look and see what's trending on Kim Jong answers more medical questions from Twitter tech support. Cold as balls is a beer commercial. Movie theater popcorn test. Anthony Davis, Shannon Sharp is surprised with Colin Kaepernick's settlement. 10 things not to do as a superhero. Avengers, Team LeBron. My friend nearly killed me when we played Truth or Dare. You know what? Should I play this video? This sounds rather interesting, so I'm going to play it. And I know you guys can do it too, and you may rather hear my bloviating, but I'm going to play this little video.
Police officer gets out.
Okay, this is a commercial, so I'm going to put it on mute real quick. I'm going to skip the ad. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Michelle, and this story literally happened yesterday. I mean, there's so much to tell about last night that I'm not really sure where to start. In short, I got betrayed by my best friend, and I almost died. And both happened within 15 minutes. It all started as a truth or dare game. I have a group of friends I've known since we were all like 5 years old. There are 6 of us, all girls, and we are 14 now. Well, a couple of us have already turned 15. I won't bother you with names, since I would have to change them anyway to tell this story. But the important thing is that among all of them, I have a best friend. Her name is Lana. Or should I say I had a best friend. Anyway, Lana and I live close to each other, so we've always seen each other more often. And we grew really close.
Hello.
Basically, she knew a lot about me.
I was watching My Best Friend Almost Killed Me. Have you ever had a thing where your a best friend betrayed you?
Sure. I mean, I guess it would have been betrayal, but I didn't see it that way. I had a really good friend who's still a really good friend of mine, probably even one of my best friends, who always dated someone after I broke up with them.
Ah.
And we used to exchange stories about that person.
She was getting your sloppy seconds.
Always. I don't know why. I don't know, why that was the standard with her. And I think with me, as I felt like after I was done dating someone, that was good for me. So I was not emotionally attached to that person anymore. And so she just slid right on in there. And I guess in the big scheme of things, it's probably pretty crappy thing to do. But the dynamics of our friendship, it just didn't work out that way, and we're still really good friends.
She never. So you never. Never was like, hey, that guy used to deep dick me, and now it's deep. No.
Usually, always me doing the breaking up too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And and I guess.
And she's Japanese.
Oh.
Yeah. Most of my really good friends are Asian, so.
Oh. Are they anything? Have you ever heard of an Asian by the name of Sarah Zhang?
I've heard that name.
New York Times reporter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Miserable woman.
Yeah. By the way, have you ever are any of your Asian friends social justice warriors?
No, all of them are. I don't know if we talk about politics at all. So I wouldn't actually know where they stand politically, which is really strange. My best friend is Japanese, and I guess most of my friends are either Japanese or Chinese, and I wouldn't. They just don't talk politically with me whatsoever, and so I have no idea how they stand. If I were to guess, because knowing their family, most of them would probably be pretty conservative, but I just want to outright say I don't think any of them are actually political at all. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, there is the point of sometimes they come from a conservative family and then they rebel and become super liberal, or even leftist.
Yeah, that's not my friends. I think they just keep it quiet, and whatever they feel, they keep it to themselves.
Yeah, that's how my Asian friends are. I couldn't tell you, who they voted for. I have no idea.
Yeah, wouldn't be able to tell you. Yeah.
It's when it comes to politics.
Yeah.
They just want to make money. All other people
pretty much. They pass their judgment on people all day long. I mean, there's no lack of that in the way they see other people and their opinion on people. But when it comes to politics, I think I wouldn't know if they had a stance. Honestly, I don't think we've ever talked about it.
Now, your best friend who's Japanese, who was a better student, you or her?
I was.
Oh.
She was I worked really hard, though. She's probably more naturally a good student when things were very easy for her. But she also had, everything just kind of given to her. Her dad was, the vice president of AT&T. So even if she wasn't, the greatest student, which she was a good student, it none of that mattered. Because they gave her stuff.
Yeah.
That's what she got. So.
And did she like to party a little bit more than you?
Yes. Yes, they all did. I was always the sober one. It's always the one driving everyone home. Always the one pulling them out of bad situations if they got too drunk. And
so were you the?
We're all still really good friends to this day. I think because of a lot of that. So.
Were you the white eye amongst all the Asians?
Yes, yeah. Yes.
So the friends were Japanese and Chinese. Now, a lot of times, at least among the older generation, Chinese and Japanese don't necessarily, if they're from the old country, they don't necessarily get along.
That's true. Here they're very American in California, as you guys would know, down in LA.
Yeah.
But I found the strangest thing, a lot of their parents didn't speak English, so their parent a lot of their parents weren't from here, and they depended on them for English or speaking in their native tongue or a combination of the two. So it was always really hard to get. I couldn't tell you to this day if some of their parents liked me or not, because they didn't speak English and they always kept they always held that poker face real well.
Yeah.
But
now, did the Japanese girl, did her parents speak English very well or not? No, they were from Japan.
Yes. Yeah.
They were from Japan?
No, both of her parents. He was the vice president of AT&T. She's an accountant. Still is, actually. I go out to dinner with her from time. I go out to dinner with my best friend's mom from time to time, so she's still an accountant. But yeah, they speak English just fine. In fact, just the two of them, they don't actually know any other language. So
yeah.
But the majority of the friends I have, you find at least one of the parents not knowing English. So
yeah, that's I had a friend like that. He became very successful, by the way, and but he always helped me. I don't know why he liked me, but he was Korean, and none of his parents spoke any English. JP, did you ever have a childhood friend where the parents spoke no speak of the English? Manja. Is JP even here?
I thought he was here. Maybe, yeah, he's here.
One of my best friends I grew up with, his parents came here from Taiwan.
No, we know that guy. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Different guy, but his dad he came here with nothing. His dad owns a bank. It's like ridiculous.
You should have married him and made love to him. Go ahead.
Amazingly wealthy family, super cool guy, but his parents' first language wasn't English. They struggle with English.
Yeah, and I used to go to their family members' get-togethers and stuff like that all the time, and they'd literally be hanging a duck the living room or on porch and things like that, and there's a million people for a 2-bedroom place, and my friends weren't like that. They were always really well-to-do off, but when you start going to events where there's extended family members and they all have respect for each other, so they didn't really pay mind of the location as much as the gathering of the family. So I've been some very interesting places from some of because of some of my friends. So
yes. Now I'm sharing my screen with you, Liz. Can you see my Twitter page?
I can't see your screen at all. JP is the one I have as the main person here. So.
Oh, wait a second. Let me see. Share screen. All right. Now I'm going to share my screen with you. I think
I will say this about all of my Asian friends' family. They all remember who I am even after all these years.
Yes.
Which is pretty impressive.
Can you see my screen now, please?
I cannot see your screen now.
Fuck you, JP. I thought I'm sharing it. Okay. Never mind.
Well, I think JP is the one that has me on the call, though.
Okay. Now, Liz, have you ever been to a male strip club?
No, I have not.
Really?
Yeah, I know this may come off as a little bit of a surprise, but I'm not into that.
Jesus. Oh.
Yeah, I don't like the really strong. What's his name? Chatham. Anyway.
By the way, let me also.
Not into it.
Yeah. Let me ask you another question.
Channing Tatum. That's it. Not into it.
Now, is today doing your kind of business? Is it really busy for you?
Yes, but it never really quite ends. So.
What's the difference?
It's always busy for me.
What's the difference between a tax preparer and an accountant?
There's a tax preparer. I think they just strictly do taxes, and then you can get certified on different levels of taxation. So you could be certified to do personal returns, like H&R Block, and then you can move up and do business returns, and then you can move up and do military returns, and but you don't have to actually have any formal schooling for that.
Yes.
You can take an IRS test, and they get to know you a little bit through a bunch of questions over the internet, and you can become a tax preparer. There's a couple things you should know that they do look out for. I think they're pretty much mini tests, but a tax preparer doesn't have to be educated in accounting whatsoever.
Yeah, and a CPA knows not all, but they know tax law. And advise on tax law, whereas a tax accountant is just going to do your tax return. You're not going to get any.
You're not going to get any advice or anything. They're just going to answer and question you. You can be an accountant without being a CPA. You can be a fraud investigator without being. There's lots of things you can do without being a CPA. The best thing a CPA can do for you is advise, and there's a liability to that, which is good. And your billability, like your billable rate, is huge. So, and it's a lot bigger than if you were an accountant minus CPA. So, CPAs get billed out. You could be billed out anywhere between probably $150 to $250 an hour, depending on what kind of CPA you are. So. And then a CPA can venture off and do financial planning, tax planning, estate planning, audits. You can do audits without being a CPA, though, but essentially you can go work in the industry that you want to work in with your CPA. So. I know that was very, very riveting. I'm glad you asked.
Are you asking because it's tax season right now? Are you trying to get your taxes prepared?
I've already gotten that done. So, but I'm just curious.
Find yourself a nice Jew. They'll take care of it for you.
Probably the best thing to do. Find myself a nice Jew or a smart Asian. Sometimes a German girl.
Sometimes a German girl. Yeah. There's crappy CPAs out there, and there's amazing accountants. It's really, and there's amazing tax preparers. I wouldn't actually say that as a real thing, but it really depends on who you're looking for. A lot of the reasons people pick the people that they choose to work with them or deal with their finances has a lot to do with understanding the nature of things and, who's experienced in what you're dealing with, like a personal level. So if you feel like someone gets you and then they have the proper industry experience, that's always great. To where if you feel someone has a proper industry experience, but like you don't like them, like straight up, like that's not going to really work because of the way personal feelings get involved in things and communication and whatnot. So I was thinking about doing podcasts like that one day, but I don't know. So, let's see.
Well, it's all about money and I don't know. Money does interest quite a few people. And
Spielberg is attacking Netflix streaming services.
Really? Over what?
It's been on a crusade. This isn't the first time he's done this, but at the awards ceremony the other day, he attacked them and said, there's nothing like going into a big dark theater with people you've never met before. He's just basically telling these audiences, whenever you can get an audience together, that they should always be able to go to movie theaters and watch movies at theaters.
No, I mean, sure, but that's kind of the industry tech in itself. Isn't Michelle Obama running Netflix now, or solved a part of that?
What?
Yeah, there's some politician. If it's not Michelle Obama, I'm gonna have to look it up now. But they have a controlling interest over Netflix. Hold on. When they started doing that, you notice the nature of Netflix changed, and the movies and stuff like that started to change. They had that, what was that one?
Dear White People?
I know it sounds stupid. Yeah, Dear White People. Like, it's that same time all that started going on there to make everyone feel bad about themselves if you're white.
That guy,
Michelle Obama. Yeah. Okay. Netflix announced, this was May 21st, this was last year. Netflix announced a production deal Monday with Barack and Michelle Obama. Barack Obama's now a Netflix producer. They're heavy into this now. So a lot of people dropped Netflix because of it. I don't think enough dropped it to have any real effect on it. But yeah. Among the content the Obamas will produce as part of a multi-year agreement are film series with scripted series, docuseries, documentaries, and feature films, all possibilities, Netflix says. So there's a heavy Obama influence on Netflix now, and the shows that they produce and release out to the public. So, yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised you didn't know about that, Jewish producer.
I had not heard about that. I've been too concerned with Michelle Obama's penis.
Yeah.
I wonder how big it is. I hear the black penis thing's a myth. No, there's a heavy liberal influence on Netflix now, and the Obamas are raking it in because of it.
Well, I'll tell you something. The mainstream media, the film industry has had a very liberal slant. It started in the 1950s. They tried to weed it out in the 1950s. It came back and started to come back hard in the 60s. Then by the 70s and 80s, it was a liberal. You couldn't by the 70s, you kept your politics to yourself, and then by the 80s and 90s, even more so.
Well, it was a very public attempt to overhaul Netflix, which a lot of people have Netflix. If you can't get through via the media and you lost the presidential election in 2016, what are your new options? You have Twitter, or you can go to the platform that people use quite a bit and start influencing people via Netflix. By controlling what they can see and what they can't, and forcing a narrative or agenda down their throat.
Take a look at me.
Yeah.
You know what though?
That's huge. So that was a very big deal. I'm surprised I didn't know about that.
There's that movie Roma, which I think it got nominated in 10 categories. And so a lot of people are saying, wait, why are Netflix films eligible for Oscars? And so they're kind of fighting.
I'd be surprised. Maybe they're going to give some more Nobel Prizes out. When that happened, a lot, they went through and took out a lot of movies off of Netflix. A lot of white-based movies, and even, I think, Canadian-based flicks. Hold on, let me look it up. You guys can talk about something. Let me look it up, and I'll tell you exactly what they got rid of when this production deal went through with the Obamas, and then they replaced it with a bunch of white guilt shows. It was pretty. I was pretty.
Well, they already did that with the one. Well, when they took it over, because the movie Dear White People did not make money, and then it got on as a. It got on.
No, that's the thing. They forget who they're appealing to. Who are you trying to appeal here to? If your goal was to make people feel like shit about turning on Netflix, you really succeeded in that. And Dear White People, I saw advertisements for Dear White People trailers, and I'm like, fuck you. That was my response. I'm not watching that garbage.
I actually rented that on Netflix. I actually rented the movie, and then they came out with it, because it was a movie that came out in release, in limited release. It lost money, and then they put that garbage on Netflix. Let me just gonna play. I actually hated it. Wait, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna play the trailer. And this came out in 2014, so the Obamas were not around But you know what, though? I might just do Dear White People 2017. Let's take a look and see what's going on now.
Fly like a dragon in virtual reality.
This sucks ass.
Warning. The following program is meant for both white and black audiences, and every other color imaginable.
Dear white people.
I just want to say that I find your show offensive.
Having a black vibrator does not count as an interracial relationship.
And highly divisive.
When you ask someone who looks ethnically different,
what are you?
The answer is usually
a person about to slap the shit out of you.
We need to come together at times like this.
When are you going to wake up to your white privilege, man?
I'm black.
Sorry, brother. Thanks for calling.
Miss White, her rhetoric makes this campus look like a powder keg, a racial unrest, like a state school. How did we get here? Who hurt you?
Well, 200 years.
Slavery, got it, right. Sorry I asked. With me as your lifeline, we will have unprecedented access to the administration.
We should vote for you because your father's the dean.
the girls and I are going to the Midsummer's Night Dream Party.
The thing where the girls wander around outside waiting for a senior to date rape them?
For a senior to kiss them. You're confusing it with the Taming of the Shrew Party.
A bunch of white kids dressing up like us? In 2017, I can't believe something like this can happen. It's almost like you and I attend two separate schools.
I have to unpack my best friend having a secret bae.
Secret or white?
We met in the comments section of that Medium article you wrote. Don't fall in love with your oppressor.
That one got so many likes.
You're not just a black man, you're a gay black man.
I'm sorry.
Gay? I'm sorry. Are you straight?
Oddly specific.
We're going to bring together every group on this campus and demand real justice.
Guys, you know what this is? This is racism.
Yeah, I thought President Obama fixed all that.
I know.
This is what happens when a country refuses to address its history with slavery.
We need to do here what they did in Germany.
What?
I meant the educating kids about the nation's horrible past part, not the concentration camp part.
Oh, because I was about to say.
Now, you only heard that. This was 2017.
You know what? If I did a show called Dear Black People, I'd have death threats.
Yeah, well, they already did. This has got more dislikes. I'm going to put a dislike on this page right here. And
I want you to notice, Mr. Midnight Movie Jewish producer, and every listener out there, whether you're known or unknown, I want you to notice how there was an article, and which was the intent. It was all very publicized. It was less than a year ago. How the Obamas were going to come in and change the content of Netflix. So if that doesn't scream a red flag to you, I don't know what does. But nobody, after this deal had gone through to the public and news articles around that time, nobody has said anything about it.
Yeah,
and I mean, that's media control. Straight up media control. They're changing the content to what they think you should be watching. And the media has been silent about that. Yet they're not silent on other things. If it were a Republican, they'd still be on it 2 years later and probably put, the FBI on it or a special counsel on it. So, but notice, like, the hypocrisy in that. Like, you literally have a former president of the United States, a very liberal president, now controlling what gets delivered to your Netflix and what you want, knowing that a majority of people use Netflix in one way or another, whether it's your account or you're borrowing someone else's account. He doesn't care. Yet no one talks about that. But they will talk about false narratives and jumping the gun, and they'll talk about Donald Trump all day long in a negative thing. But I mean, this is a huge thing for me, where the Obamas are literally controlling Netflix. So.
Yeah, and not even the most dastardly thing that happens in media, but it is a bad thing.
But I mean, it's not that it's a bad thing that it's happening. It's a bad thing that it's not talked about. It's a bad thing that you didn't know that, Jewish producer. So how many other people didn't know that? That's the bad part about it.
Yeah, I don't think that was too well publicized.
It sure wasn't.
My,
Yeah.
oh my.
A lot
Producer
of,
Obama.
yeah, a lot of comments. One of the comments here is, "This looks about as funny as a diarrhea in a spacesuit." I want to mention that, there's no. And people have said, she learns to be more moderate and this crap, but a load of crap. And I've been getting into fewer and fewer, a few debates on YouTube. I tried, and I realized that I'm, to a degree, for a lot of people, I'm just wasting my time. I'm only having it to basically amuse me. But there's a lot of people who believe that Western colonialism, destroyed parts of Africa and parts of Asia, and that's why they come to Europe and to America. And I think that is the biggest load of crap ever.
Tell me which country isn't trying to be here? People of which country isn't trying to be in the United States?
No, I mean a lot of them, but they.
No, that's the thing. I don't know who spread that kind of crap.
Yeah.
But what's even worse than the people that spread that kind of stuff are the people that actually believe it. The people who can't think on their own. The people who can't go, all right, in my shoes, would I like to be in America? The kind of people that go, oh, yeah, no, this person says it's terrible. I would love to go party in Florida. I would love to go retire there one day, except, I'm going to go preach the ideals of this other person because I think they make sense. The people who literally cannot think on their own. There's not one person that's not trying to be here in the world.
Yeah.
Think about even the richer countries. They're still trying to be here.
Yeah, Liz, but their argument, a lot of the left's argument is the reason that they want to be here is because colonialism and the West destroyed Africa and took all their resources and this and that. Now, Thomas Sowell puts this to bed completely. He said basically, because he talks about England and their colonial past, but he said basically it was a net negative when they were colonized, and England made most of its money from America and other nations that were stable. Instability. Nobody wants to invest in something that is unstable. And unstable country, people from unstable countries want to come to stable countries. And it's just such a load of crap that that Europe and America helped destroy these African and Arab.
You know what? I won't disagree that they didn't. But what I will disagree with is that does that have any relevance to today.
How so?
Back in the times when everyone was trying to figure out their place in this world, and we were still taking over country, everyone across the world was trying to gain territory and take over and get resources, and this is not a new idea. Competition and capitalism as far back as the history books can write it. Just because they blame it, I think, on that now, it has no relevance to now.
Yeah. And were the Western powers, were they a net positive or a net negative for those people?
I think that today's consideration of Western powers was non-existent then. Yeah. But now that we're the United States, people are going to try to say it's the people of the United States when it has no relevance now. It's you're talking apples and oranges.
Was Western technology into the primitive world a positive or a negative?
No, it was a positive.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And people want to come over to a place where there is more Western values and Western, Western medicine and a Western way of life. Nobody wants to, when you were thinking of moving to another country, you didn't.
I did live in another country. I lived in a socialist country.
You did, but you didn't choose a country in Africa, and you didn't choose.
Hell no.
Well, or in Latin America, which was a lot closer.
There are nice parts of Africa that are white person friendly, or were, I should say, about 15 years ago. Not anymore.
Now, have you been to any parts of it? Yeah.
Years ago was a different place than South Africa now.
Yeah.
So,
and it's like there is a there is a dislike for people of European descent, and how should people of European descent respond to being blamed for all of the ills? I mean, do we want more of that in our country? Do they want?
You know what? I don't really know how to answer that. As we go on through time and everything, the world gets smaller and smaller. It's really hard, I feel like, to give like an intelligent decision. Things change every day. Today we might not know, who's coming in tomorrow.
We
might know a lot. A lot more than we knew yesterday.
Yeah, you can only do for what's happening now. And with these identity politics, I personally do, I want to change our immigration system before we start.
There are wealthy African countries that have malls just like we do.
Let them live there.
Very similar to us. What's the one that kept saying Obama's family's from it?
Kenya?
I can't remember. Kenya's supposed to be like top notch of the African countries. Secure, has more people. I heard it was very similar to.
And you know what? And you know what? If they, like I said, if people want to move there or live there, I mean, I know this country. I know the language of this country. I mean, unfortunately, I don't speak any other language. And I know this is not, it's not a socialist country like Ireland. I guess even back then Ireland was. But I have, I have preference. And I don't want, like the way colleges and schools are demonizing people of European descent. I don't want more of that. I don't want more.
I fully agree with that. I fully agree with that 100%. I feel like they're trying very hard to shift, blame and guilt on the white people for things that happened a really long time ago. In the big scheme, okay, maybe it wasn't long ago in the big scheme, but I really feel like a lot of the reasons why they're trying to push guilt on white people now has really no relevance to today. And as we advance, we all advance in technology, we advance in economics, we advance everywhere else, but socially somehow we're stuck. Or some of us are, because I feel like the majority of us aren't. But the ones that get paid attention to are the ones that are stuck. And they're fighting for what? For what reason anymore?
Well, I'll tell you something.
Fun to watch.
Black and minority races have a lot of powerful white enablers. I mean, if you're a white person and you are branded a racist, you could lose your job. And these companies are not honed by white people. These companies are owned and operated by people of European descent.
It really depends on how you're branded a racist. Now,
well, look what happened to Roseanne.
True, but she's actually coming out of it now because people have realized that she didn't do anything wrong. But yeah, it absolutely put a dent in her day. That's stuff I would like to see stop immediately.
But
the way the Democrats, especially politically now in the United States, politically they're acting a fool. You have senators who are black facing themselves in college, which magically got overlooked in opposition research when they were running for office. And now they're saying, hold on, give them a chance. And you're like, oh, okay, big screech.
But who?
That would have never flown. Roseanne didn't get that chance when she made a comment.
Yeah.
That was actually correct and not racist. She literally was saying what she observed,
and she didn't know the race of this person. And there's reason to believe that she didn't think she didn't know she was black. But regardless of that, I mean, why is it like? I mean, I don't think the person who did blackface that at that time when he was a 25-year-old over 40 years ago.
That's the thing. He wasn't at a KKK rally of blackface. I understand that. I get it. I get the dynamics, but you can literally ruin Roseanne Barr's life over a comment of someone she didn't know was black versus someone who did it on purpose. You know, it's just the hypocrisy.
Well, not only that hypocrisy, but like you have celebrities who were saying how happy they were with the OJ verdict and they didn't care whether he was guilty or not. This guy, OJ Simpson, slashed a woman's throat. A mother, killed his wife, the mother of his children,
but proven innocent.
Killed the mother of his children. And D.L. Hughley says, well, he was happy about it because it was about getting and something. He was like, it was kind of restorative justice. This guy, nothing happens to him. He can say that all he wants.
That's not true. You know what? Honestly, OJ has not had a very easy life.
I'm not talking about OJ. I'm not talking about OJ. I'm talking about D.L. Hughley, who supported that decision and said he didn't care whether he was guilty or not. D.L. Hughley says that, and nothing happens to him. Nothing financial happens to him. Why isn't he economically? Why isn't he economically attacked? Why isn't he an economic pariah?
Because O.J. Simpson was proven innocent in a court of law. What is he going to do?
No, I'm saying his statement is I found offensive.
Most people that make fun of O.J.'s verdict are the most successful. You have people like Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, and who literally laughed at him being found innocent and have made lots of money making that verdict.
Yeah. I've never seen white people this upset since they canceled MASH. Really? If this was someone black who was murdered? You think a white comedian can make a joke about Trayvon Martin, who basically did attack first?
You know what? I feel like nowadays, after the storm has settled a little bit, if you were to make a joke about Trayvon Martin, it'd probably be pretty seen as funny.
I doubt
because
that.
We all know the evidence that came out, and he was a prick, and he died not because of the color of his skin, but because he was a prick. And I'm sorry, I know it was a young child. I don't care about the color of his skin. He acted like an asshole. He acted like a bully. He was aggressive, and it led to the loss of his life. And I will not apologize for my opinion on that, because that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean,
this child, this giant child, despite the color of his skin, he was no stranger to law enforcement. Okay, a white child of that size, if he were to do the same thing, his fate would have been the exact same. There was nothing okay with what he did and how he was acting, and the events that led up to his death. It didn't matter what. He could have been a big, fat, sumo wrestling Asian. It doesn't matter. The fate would have been the same.
Yeah, I mean...
So, screw it. Make jokes about it. And anybody who has a problem with that, they don't matter. There's such a small amount of people that would get upset about that. I feel like at this time, like, it doesn't matter. It's like, get upset. It's laughable that people get upset about that. The facts are out. The facts are in. This isn't under investigation anymore. We all know what happened. Make a joke about it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of, there's a lot of people who support hypocrisy and, they want to absolve everyone of moral responsibility except for whites. And it's
just like that actor, what's that actor? What's the one they just found out today or the last few days that he tried to say white people attacked him because he was black and gay. Who's that?
Oh, yeah, that guy. I forget his name. Yeah, that idiot. Yeah, he.
Don Cheadle.
No, not Don. Not Don Cheeto. I forget his name, but yeah, he's. It's almost
people like that are going to guarantee Republicans get elected again in the next election. They're the ones that are going to guarantee Donald Trump gets elected again.
Horse or the whole noose up.
What?
Oh, by the way, how are you?
Hi.
Curtis, were you attacked for being gay and black?
Sorry?
What did you think about Trayvon Martin?
Terrible. No, that one, just recent though. Did you guys hear about that one guy that claimed that two people, robbed him and put a noose around his neck and all that?
Yeah, shame on him. He should be kicked out of it.
And it turns out that he's not a victim and that it was probably staged and paid for. How stupid does he think law enforcement is? How stupid does he think all of us are? And when they go and do things like that and they make these extreme scenarios like that, and some of them aren't as exaggerated, but this kind of crap happens every single day. And this will guarantee that Donald Trump will be elected again. And this will guarantee that the Republicans will probably take over the House again. You know, that young senator from Minnesota, the anti-Semitic.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to guarantee that Minnesota goes red. You know, it's that the best thing you could do is let these idiots talk. Give them a voice. Let's see what happens, because it's not going well for them. And I think the people in their districts are now paying attention. All of a sudden, those pink pussy hats aren't necessarily that important anymore.
I don't know. I mean, let me ask you this: when Romney ran against Obama, how sure were you that Romney was going to win?
Obama was going to win.
Really?
Yeah. You don't ever underestimate the power of a black person voting for a black person because they're black.
Well, what if Eric Holder runs against Trump?
I think he would give him, as much as we all laugh at Eric Holder, you know what? Black people have the sense of community to where they would absolutely vote for a black man over Trump.
There you go.
Even if Trump did jobs, even if they did that, the black community isn't ashamed of that.
No, I don't think Kamala Harris could win.
I don't think so, because she's female.
Not only is she female, she is half. She's part Indian. She spent her time in Canada, and she was a prosecutor. And her husband is
that chick's married to someone?
She's married to a white man.
All I know is that Donald Trump spent more time with Tupac than Kamala ever did listening to Tupac getting stoned in college. So, because that wasn't a thing apparently. Apparently it wasn't even a thing when Kamala Harris was in college. But Donald Trump actually hung out with Tupac. You know, and that's the thing. When they say things like that, and they're campaigning on things like that, it doesn't actually help the left at all, because it's not hard to find out when these things happen and when these things went on. And, you know, Donald Trump, it makes him less of a liar to everyone else, all the independents. It makes that guy less of a liar. They're really sealing the deal for the Republicans. So, I think Cory Booker, who is actually, despite what you've seen, like the Kavanaugh hearings and all that kind of stuff, he's a presidential candidate. He's in Minnesota. I think he gave Donald Trump a run for his money. And even though he's laughed at now, I don't think he'd be that laughed at in a presidential race because he actually is pretty moderate. He's still very, he's still very left leaning, but he's more moderate than the other candidates right now on the left. You got another one from Minnesota. I can't remember her name, Amy. But the Democrats, the DNC, would never put her in as a primary. So we don't really have to worry about her, but she would be the toughest. Word on the street is she'd be the toughest candidate against Donald Trump because she's your Midwest Democrat. She's not super left-leaning. She's very moderate, like a moderate progressive Democrat, but she's been shown to work with Republicans and Democrats, but the DNC is not going to throw her out there, so I guess we don't have to worry about that. So you got your choice. You got Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren. She's a joke. Nobody's going to go for that. I don't know.
Well,
you might actually see though the race between Cory Booker and Donald Trump.
Now, Eric Holder his family was originally from Barbados. I did not know that. He is,
as long as Cory Booker was born here, he's good.
Yeah, Cory Booker, but Barbadian origins is Eric Holder.
If they put another female out there again, if they put one out there as ridiculous as, you have the female, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, they make Hillary Clinton look like a moderate Democrat. So I don't feel like they're going to get a really good response off of any of the female candidacies except for that one from Minnesota right now, which they're not going to put up there. They seem to think that New York and California, with Hollywood and acting and all the big voices that come out of there, really dictate the voice of the country for Democrats, and that's not it. Even your Midwest Democrats, that's a bit much for them. You find them very socially involved, but you will find them very fiscally conservative, and you'll find them loving, the topic of abortion. You'll find them pro-life, even though they are registered Democrats. And things like that. And now there's a big deal where they're talking about killing a baby after it's born. Now, granted, the circumstances seem logical, but your middle-of-the-road Democrat from the middle part of the United States would rather put that baby up for adoption and find someone to care for it than abort it. So you're not going to find a lot of abortionists through the middle of the country and things like that. So I don't know. It's all very speculative. You got your key states you have to win an election anyway. You got Ohio. I can hardly see Kamala Harris or Elizabeth Warren winning places like Ohio, where Donald Trump pretty much nailed it. And I think that the candidates that would win those states or even certain districts, they're not going to put up the candidate that those people would vote for. So I think Donald Trump will landslide win again in the next election.
Because, like I said, Eric Holder is looking at an exploratory committee, and
I hope he does. I hope he does, especially with the way the state of the border is right now. I hope Eric Holder runs because he would be made a big asshole. And that Joe Biden is another really strong candidate to run against Donald Trump. It's hard with him because he was only the vice president. He was a supporting role to Obama, and so people already know who he is and like who he is. He's very charming, but you don't really see him coming on any hard stance throughout his career as a vice president, not any that they've publicized anyway. Not as much as they do like with Pence. So he's kept pretty quiet, which is a smart move for someone if they were going to run for presidency, knowing that the numbers that Obama had because of the black community. I think that community would still support Biden, but I don't think they're going to get Biden. So
I think they would support. Well, I think the black community would be very strong to support Holder. I would have the nickname for Holder though for the way he acted during the Black Panther thing with what they did. I would call him the racial vendetta candidate.
I don't think Holder would have as strong as a following as you think. A lot of the African American community, they're back to work. You have really strong unemployment numbers with the African American community. It's not going to be easy for someone like Eric Holder to come in and simply just win the black vote that way.
I don't know.
He doesn't have a good reputation for creating jobs. He's had a crappy reputation in politics, border security. Cory Booker, I think, is going to be your strongest if you're going to talk about who's going to win the black vote. It's Cory Booker.
I think Cory Booker has a lot of sexual scandals.
Maybe, but fuck, that obviously doesn't mean anything.
No,
so's off Trump.
Yeah,
so,
right, yeah.
I mean, come on now.
Yeah, the bar has pretty much been lowered on that. It's been lowered since Clinton, and it's been getting lower and lower and lower.
Yeah, so I don't really think that would have any sort of adverse effect unless they came out with. That's the thing. They've made it now to where even accusations, because of the whole Kavanaugh thing, even accusations, are going to be silenced.
Yeah. Now, by the way, let me point out here that Dennis Dicus said he's going back to Revenge of the Nerds later. Enjoy your political insight. So I think we have.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm so sorry, but we have. What movie do you think is going to win? Do you have any favorite for the Oscar? What is even up for the Oscars this year?
It looks like it's just you and me, Mr. Midnight Movie. We lost JP and Kurt.
Oh, did JP leave too? Let me see.
He did. He left. I'm sorry, Dennis. I know Dennis doesn't agree with me politically, and most people shun at the political shows. But I mean, shit, I'm not wrong. The more of you leave, it's because I'm not wrong.
Well, me neither.
The more of the matter you get, because you're unable to defend your position, the more right I am. So I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Yes.
All right, the movie's coming up. We have Ballbuster. I don't know if that movie has come out with a trailer yet, though.
Okay, so Roma is up for Best Picture. It's a foreign film, but it's up for The Green Book. I saw that; it was pretty good.
Here. Do you know what show? You know what I watched last night, Mr. Midnight Movie? I watched. And this movie came out. I want to say about a year ago. It was Mandy. Did you watch that?
No. Was it a Woody Allen film?
No, it had God, it was such a messed up movie. Hold on, it had what's his name in it? Mandy 2000. So stupid. Why can't I think of his name right now? Nicolas Cage. So it's Mandy, came out in 2018, had Nicolas Cage in it. I just watched it for the first time last night, and it was not bad. It was not bad. Something I if you're into that kind of thing, which is along your lines of horror flicks, but more of a mental screwing with you kind of a flick. I would watch it again.
Now, yeah, I've heard of the film Vice, and that I guess is about the former Dick Cheney movie. Have you seen anything? Have you seen that at all?
Hell no, I've never watched a Dick Cheney movie. No.
Have you seen Black Klansman?
No. Just as much as I won't watch Dick Cheney, I won't watch Black Klansman.
Have you seen Green Book?
No, I've heard of Green Book, though.
Enjoyed that. Black Panther?
No, I refuse to. I feel like anything that I really want to know about that era, or like Black Panther, I'll go read about it. I won't go watch anything.
Well, no, it's not Black. I mean, it's a comic book movie.
Are you you're talking about the Marvel movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, still not going to watch it.
Yeah.
I heard it was so similar down the lines of Avatar when it came out, with the blue aliens.
Yeah. I didn't like Avatar, by the way. Now, did you see A Star is Born?
No.
Jesus. Did you see? I guess you didn't see Bohemian Rhapsody.
I have. I just watched it.
Did it make you cry like a bitch?
No, I watched it because I like Freddie Mercury. That's weird, but I do. I can't say I like Freddie Mercury as much as I thought Queen was a decent band, so I watched it.
This person is calling me. I don't know. Hello?
Are they calling you on Skype?
Hold on.
All right. So
no, I'm sorry. Someone that was. You know who that was? That was Howard.
I thought it was. I'm not talking to him if he comes on. He's a fucking asshole, and he's out doxing and things like that in the chat rooms again.
Is he doing that now?
Complete idiot.
He was calling me several times. I was like,
yeah, I won't have anything to do with him if you ring him on. I mean,
I'm sorry.
It's your show,
no, I won't. But
he's out there like doxing and doing weird stuff, and I don't know. I mean, once again, you can bring him on if you want. I'm not
going to bring him on. No, he was calling me on my cell phone.
What a weirdo!
Oh my god, I can't believe that crap.
Jeez. Yeah, he's out there again. I guess he was posting docs in the chat rooms, not even on me, or he was on me, or he was trying to. He's not very good at it. But I'm just on Brady, and who has nothing to do with anything, and all this kind of weird stuff. He's just been completely psycho. He's back socking accounts with Brady's name on it and posting docs in chat rooms. So I just won't have anything to do with him. So he's, whatever. You're going to act like an asshole. I'm just going to treat you like one. That's all I have to say about it.
Christ, it's unbelievable. Yeah, you know what show has gotten really shitty and just like really politically left? And they were always left, but they've just gone off the fucking rails. SNL, Saturday Night Live, is just, I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, they leveled out there for a second because I think they were getting too much backlash post the election, and they leveled out, and then they went full throttle again. I literally think that they thought the general population was going to forget what kind of assholes they were acting like post-election, to where they thought if they leveled it out for 4 months that people would forget all about that and then start acting like complete assholes again. So.
Oh, complete, yeah. I mean, it's just unbelievable to me how fucking, just how just, I mean, and they're not even, fucking, it's just like they're not even balanced anymore. I mean, that whole thing with Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah, that it would be, it's hard to say, because if they would have made fun of Barack Obama as much as they did Donald Trump or Brett Kavanaugh and all that, you could be like, okay, I could laugh at all of this. But they didn't. And they really, it comes off as if they're targeting Republicans. And they do not always target Republicans, and they do not always target Trump. But they do enough of it to where the rest of it goes unnoticed, and it's just highly imbalanced, and it makes it not fun or funny. It's like they're playing a narrative pre-election again, and it's a turnoff. So
yeah. I mean,
it's like they're all ramping up for another election.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and the thing is, it doesn't make them relevant. I guess, because it's controversial. I guess it does to a degree help with their ratings. The thing is, if the right did anything of that nature, they'd probably be considered racist. And yes.
Well, the thing is that they left it literally up to Fox News to do skits on Democrats now.
Oh yeah.
Fox News does the better comedy skits on liberals and Democrats, because if Saturday Night Live were to do that, they'd be blacklisted in Hollywood.
Yes.
So they're only literally allowed to make fun most of the time to Republicans now. They're only allowed to make fun of them. And they make fun of everyone and all that, but I mean,
really.
They're going to be lynched as a company if they take it away from that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right on that. But, I mean, I guess a lot of these other news, I'm surprised CNN is still on the air. Or are
you surprised CNN's still on the air? They're doing just fine.
But aren't they?
Rachel Maddow.
Well, Rachel Maddow's MSNBC, but
no, just kidding. It's not Rachel Maddow. But they have who's on CNN?
Don Lemon. I mean, and Don Lemon, I mean, he gives his commentating all the time, I'm just surprised, and he's wrong. He gets stories fucking wrong, and he's still on there. It kind of surprises me that
Anderson Cooper. Yeah. Anderson Cooper does a lot of good work for CNN.
Yeah,
I think he's pretty much the one holding them up.
Why is that knucklehead Don Lemon still on there?
I don't know. Probably, who knows? Because nobody's come up with a sex abuse allegation, or they've paid off whoever he's assaulted. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean, not only that, it's just I think whoever is running it just personally wealthy and doesn't really give a shit about making money or making because it just baffles. Because I think Don Lemon should be let go.
Well, who do you think was one of the biggest contributors to CNN even financially? What's that asshole on the left that he has all this money and he just loves giving money to people like CNN and all the leftist groups? You know what I'm talking about.
The Soros fund?
Soros, yeah. George Soros loves CNN.
Well, there you go. That's it right there. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to get my sorry ass to Betty Boo, and I guess I'll play us out. Did you have fun?
I did have fun. I always have fun with you.
Yes, I have fun with you as well. And let me just play us out with my Mr. Midnight Movie thing, yada, yada, yada. And join us.
Well, folks, this is the best show on
Join us next time where we talk about
on the internet.
everything anal.
Nobody, and I mean nobody,